it's like a fine wine, Charles?
What is hey, Rich, what?
The Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Yeah.
It's like a fine wine.
Yeah, it does get better with time.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
It ages well.
It does.
It's been aging well recently as well.
Rich, you probably haven't slept all weekend.
Tell me about
it. I just listened to you.
Yes.
A few minutes ago.
And?
That thing went on for, what would you guys say? 15 minutes? 20?
What do you think?
It ain't over yet.
Well, don't ask. They think I go on too long about it.
You haven't slept all weekend thinking about that.
But
monologue.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I was, in fact, up around 3 in the morning, and I'm like, how am I going to handle this? And I thought to myself, just speak from the heart, Rich. Yeah. Through your chest.
I almost felt bad for those guys after that monologue.
Charles Woodson is here, everybody. Our Pro Football Hall of Fame, Heisman Trophy, Super Bowl winning friend is here on the Rich Eisen Show. Listen, I just root for it. You played in this thing.
Yeah.
How does it land when they win like Michigan won over the weekend for you, Charles?
Well, this is probably one of the more satisfying wins. And it reminds me, I was reminded before the game, I was texting with Marcus Ray. So the producers were trying to, they're asking questions about the game, when we played, what kind of things that Lloyd Carr talk about. A lot of those things, man, I forget. But Marcus Ray is like an almanac. He remembers everything. So he's giving me all of these, different things that Lloyd would talk about. But in 1996, we were underdogs. We had to go down to the shoe. And I think we ended up beating that team, another undefeated Ohio State team, 13-9. Nobody gave us a shot to win that game. We're in their house, of course. We're in the shoe. So they're the mighty at this time. They're going on to try to, win a championship. And this game reminded me of that. To come into the game and be 20-point underdogs is really it was really a slap in the face, because then people are not respecting the actual rivalry, what this game means to both sides. And before the show, I know where everybody's leaning.
I mean,
everybody on our show, I know how they feel about this game. And they felt about this game the same way they felt 2 years ago when we went down there. And forecast was it was supposed to be windy and, cloudy, kind of favors Michigan in the run game. But then all of a sudden the sun starts shining. And everybody's like, oh, man, Stroud and these receivers are about to go crazy on this Michigan defense. Did not happen.
Well, they also didn't attempt it, though.
Yeah.
This time around, they did not attempt it.
This time around, I
don't understand.
I don't quite understand it.
Right? It's mind-boggling. The conversation amongst all of us Wolverines, or the mortal Wolverines, is that Harbaugh saying years ago, and Sharon Moore backing it up, that Ohio State's not tough enough. They're not tough enough. Ryan Day's not tough enough. They're not tough enough in the trenches. They're not tough enough in the run game. Just messed with their heads so much that they're like, we'll prove how tough we are. And then they run right into the teeth of exactly our strength.
Yeah, well, not only that, I think Lou Holtz said it as well about this team. And then, Ohio State won a game against Notre Dame, and Ryan Day, vocally said, oh, we're a tough team. You can't prove it to us by talking about it. You got to go do it. And like you said, like Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant and them boys, they wasn't having it. I mean, all game long, they didn't let these guys breathe. So we're happy that they tried to prove themselves to be tough. And we proved that we are tougher.
Now, let me ask you this question. Because, again, and it's kind of silly I'm asking this because, I'm in TV too, as you know. But just watching Urban sit next to you, as you're saying, 30-27, Michigan's going to win by 3. I don't know. Are you aware he's like smiling at you?
I didn't see till after.
Okay.
It's just like, but that's how everybody felt. So what I was saying was absurd. You know what I mean? And
but
so,
he takes this personally, though. He still takes it personally.
He's got to. I take it personal. When they were whooping us all them years, I take it personal.
Right.
But it was the way that he laughed. It was like, yeah, right. We're about to smack Michigan.
Did you say anything to him afterwards?
No, because I ended up leaving.
That's too bad.
So I was in the
because you had to fly west to work. You had to work for Fox yesterday.
Come for Fox yesterday,
right.
And so I'm in the airport on the plane watching the game, and
Oh, man.
Hard to contain the emotions, man. I didn't want him to have to land the plane early.
It is truly unbelievable that this actually happened. So let's just move it forward a little bit here. Who do you think is the best team in college football right now? Is it Oregon? Is it Oregon's to win? Would you say that right now, Charles?
Man, I'm kind of I'm kind of conflicted. I love Oregon, but I feel like watching the way that Georgia played Texas when they beat them earlier this year. I feel like if Texas is clicking on all cylinders, then even though they got as many losses as they have, they would be the toughest team. So I would lean between a Georgia team that's playing really well, and Oregon, but just because Oregon they haven't lost.
Well, Texas just came up with a big win too.
Texas came up with a big win.
Arch running it in to start the scoring. I mean, you got that happening. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think Ohio State should do? Because fans want Ryan Day out.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, I would venture to say, man, he has to go win it all. They for what they did this offseason, of course, with the NIL and the money that they reportedly spent. To beat Michigan, the fans they're not even thinking about the championship right now. They're still thinking about Michigan because that's what this was supposed to be. Bring these players in like an all-world Caleb Downs, who was really a great player.
He's terrific
player. Beat Michigan, and then go on because all I've heard all season was that this is the most talented team. They're favored to win the championship, and so now. Got to win the championship. You didn't get the Michigan game, so now you got to win the championship. Or they're calling for him now, but if he don't make it, to the championship game and win it, it could be lights out.
And what do you think? Again, now Michigan's got to turn the page.
Yeah.
And next up, next year, this kid Bryce Underwood is coming in.
Yeah.
You heard the amount of NIL. Michigan's flat out in the NIL game now, man.
I don't think you have a choice.
I know. No, I'm not saying. Of course, you have to do this.
You don't have a choice nowadays, man.
Well, certainly, if you got Larry Ellison, on speed dial, and Portnoy and the rest of the conglomerate, if you will, together. But this is a different way now to coach Michigan, wouldn't you say? With the expectation level and an NIL quarterback coming in, I mean, this can be a different way of doing business. Do you think
it's
now?
a different ball game now? It used to be. Where you were going out and you were recruiting, you were going into, kids' homes and you were trying to talk to their parents about why your school is the best. But now the parents are calling you saying, how much money you got? Really? Like, these are the conversations that are going on. So it's not so much recruiting anymore. It's, hey, man, my son is this team's recruiting him, that team's recruiting him. What do you have for me? Oh, only $200,000? Sorry, you're out.